Welcome to Book Talk. Today we're discussing a fairly new book, Reboot by Amy Tintera. Look at this cover. Is this not one of the coolest of the covers? I saw it and I was like, whoa there. I like that. It's different and I just really like it. You're probably like, what the f***? It doesn't have a picture on it, Christine. Just a bunch of lines and numbers. It's black and red, and those are my two favorite colors. And then there's the line on the cover. That if this cover didn't sell you, the line will. 5 years ago, I died. Period. 178 minutes later, I woke up. So reboots are not zombies. Reboot is a very interesting take on the post-apocalyptic, you get a virus and you turn into a zombie sort of ordeal. See, what happens is that there's this plague, right? It's killing people left and right. And a lot of the people that die will reboot, meaning reawaken and be alive again. Except they don't come back as zombies, which usually happens when you reboot. And they don't come back as vampires, which also usually happens when you reboot. And they don't come back as ghosts, which never really happens when you reboot. Reboots are basically still human. They're indestructible unless you put a bullet in their heads, which is like zombies. They wake up and then they keep growing and maturing like they would have if they were still human. But they can be shot up everywhere and they just heal super quickly. And they're stronger and they're faster. They're just a lot more athletically capable than the humans. The big thing is the emotion. When you reboot, depending on how long it takes you to come back to life, you'll be less emotional than you were as a human. If you die and then reboot 5 minutes later, you're pretty much mentally still human. If you die and you wake up like 2 hours later, you're more dead. Not dead physically, but on the inside, you're not as emotional. Anyway, there are prejudices against the reboots, and now reboots are not allowed in society, and they're gathered together by this private organization called HARK, and you're only gathered if you're less than 20 years old. If you're over 20 and you rebooted, they usually shoot you. If you're a teenager, you're stuck in this facility where they train you to be a soldier, a slave soldier for the humans that hate them. So that's what's basically going on. It sounds super confusing, but it's actually super easy to grasp if you read the book. And the book is light. It's not a heavy read, which I really needed. A quick, light, action-packed, there's really cute romance in it, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something quick and fun. It's the start of a series, but it doesn't leave you dying. Our lead character's name is Ren. She's a reboot. She's in this facility. She has been basically brainwashed to think of herself as emotionless. She soon finds she's a lot more human than she actually has been led to believe, and stuff goes down in the reboot center. Now that I'm a reboot, I am faster, I am stronger, I heal quickly, I don't cry, I follow orders. See, when I read this back, I'm thinking that our main character is basically a robot. I thought this was a robot sort of ordeal. I thought the dead children were turned into bio-robot people and trained to fight. That's what it kind of sounds like, right? Right? I'm right. I would give this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. On 1 to 100, maybe I'd give it an 87. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. Is it A++? Oh my god, I must read the next one? No, but I'm going to pick up the next one because I had a lot of fun reading this one. So if you haven't read the book, I'd leave now. Go read it if you're interested and come back and discuss it with us. If you read it, joy, oh boy, let's discuss. Bye, not spoiler peeps. Okay, so why am I wearing a hat? I figured it kind of looks like a helmet, so I'm kind of like a reboot, like we match. We're like twins now. See the resemblance? You see it. You see it. This is gonna sound horrible, but I've gotten to this point where I have so many books to read that I've started, when someone recommends me a book now, I've started going to Goodreads and checking the amount of stars it has, and if it doesn't have at least 4 stars, I won't put it on my to be read list anymore. That bitch over there, she doesn't pick up a book unless it has 4 stars on Goodreads. What the? She can't think for herself. What if she likes it and they don't like it? Thing is, there's so many books, you can't read them all.
So, if overall consensus says certain books are more enjoyable, then I'm gonna read those first.
So, Reboot, it had like a 3.9. I can see why it hasn't hit the 4, but it was worth it. Worth the read. Let's talk about our main character, Ren. I like her name, Ren. I don't like Callum's name. It reminds me of calamine lotion, and it confuses me, honestly. I can't remember his name for very long. I really think the reboots have been brainwashed into thinking they're not emotional. I think, honestly, if they want to feel emotions, they can, but it's easier for them to ignore things. Was the virus even a natural virus, or was it created by the government as an experiment and it got loose, or did Hark create it? Is it their fault? Hark is an interesting little organization. Because they've convinced the reboots that they don't have as much emotion, they've also managed to convince the outside world that reboots are monsters, which they're really not. Zombies are monsters. Reboots are slightly altered humans. But these experiments that Hark is doing on the less than 60-something reboots sounds stupid to me. It sounds like they're turning the reboots that aren't zombies into zombies. It really endangers their own lives. I actually thought that Callum hadn't been injected, but that because he had been bitten by that crazy injected reboot, that it had spread to him, whatever the hell they injected him with. I wonder if that's going to become a huge problem, that a huge amount of reboots is going to start changing into zombie reboots. Then those fucking Hark humans won't even know what hit them. Like, oh shit, we accidentally created the zombie apocalypse. Dun dun dun! What now? Then they'll really be in deep shit. The whole situation is completely ridiculous. I don't understand why the reboot community outside of Texas hasn't invaded and shut down these Hark reboot buildings, honestly. Obviously the reboots are organized or they wouldn't be able to start a war. Like, if you think about it, these reboots have to have been around for a while. Because there's already a war, and the reboot's already won. I would like to know more about the reboot war. Who headed the reboot president? When I heard that all there was left was Texas, not even all of Texas, New Texas, I was just, what do you mean? So we have Ever. I really liked Ever. I loved her effect on Ren. Ren and Callum just had a really sweet relationship. Callum is an interesting male character. He's got this sweetness to him. So when he's kind of pompous, it comes off as this like cutesy little, you know you can't resist me for much longer. I'm really interested in what's gonna happen in the next book. Toward the end of this book, I was really thinking that something terrible was gonna happen. She gets to the cure, and then she gets stuck behind the glass. I'm like, oh my god, she's gonna be stuck behind the glass. She's gonna get captured and transferred, and it's all gonna go to shit. And then she didn't. She got out, and then she gets out, and I'm like, oh my god, Callum's gonna already be dead. He's gonna already be dead. He's gonna be taken by Hark. And then he's there, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's not gonna work. The serum's not gonna work. And then Callum wakes up, and then I'm like, oh my god, they're not gonna get on the shuttle. And then they get on the shuttle, and then I'm like, oh my god, the reboots are gonna kill them, and they're not gonna make it. And then they make it, and then that's it. There's that little bit of doubt at the end when Ren asks Callum if he's okay because he looks pale. He's like, I'm fine. That kind of makes you think, is he fine? Is it gonna be like you need more than one dose to keep you in your regular reboot self? Are there gonna be adult reboots out there? What is with the adult reboots? What are our thoughts on that? Are they actually hostile, or are they just fucking mad because they're gonna be shot in the head for being an older reboot because they won't cooperate like the children will. They can't be brainwashed as easily. Then we got Leb's daughter, Addie, who I really like, and she's definitely gonna become a bigger character I think in the next book. And even this Beth, this 138 or something that we meet at the end, she seems pretty playful and cool. What's gonna happen with Callum and Ren? I love that little scene where they were in Callum's room. How weird is it that Callum's shit is all still in his room? They didn't sell any of this stuff. None of this stuff was rated, but it was a really sweet scene. Their sexual dynamics are pretty funny to watch. It's not Divergent. It's not that kind of book where it's like, oh my god, my life is changed. I don't know why it's compared to Divergent. I saw somewhere like, Divergent fans, pick this up. What did you think of Reboot? Are you gonna read the second one? I'm definitely gonna read the second one. I wonder what it's gonna be called. Probably not Reboot 2 or Reboot. Reboot. Rebooted. Rebooted? Maybe like past tense or rebooted because they're like already rebooted. Callum's already rebooted. Share your thoughts on what you think the next book's gonna be called. So share your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the book. I'm Christine. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!